In the Meldon universe, 1 year ago, Vizon, after being fused to Kanui Olmec, briefly entered this dimension and departed shortly after. Komatoran Mazika and Shadow Matoran Voltraz found themselves passing through the remnants of Vizon's portal during their conflict in Cardanui, emerging into this pocket universe as Spherus Magna. Here, the two Matoran discovered a gigantic organism capable of firing razor-sharp crystals and turning objects into energy. They also found a massive tree banded in golden metal. The two then met a pair of beings representing a Gamatoran and a Toa of Water. When Mazika inquired as to their whereabouts, the Matoran introduced herself as Toa Maku, and stated that she was pleased to meet a hero of the Meldon, since Mazika and Voltraz fit her understanding of Toa rather than mere Matoran. The four then traveled to a village called Ga-Koro as Maku related the story of the Meldon. She also revealed that her companion, the Gamatoran, was actually Helrex. After Maku had finished her tale, Mazika informed her that he and Voltraz were not from Spherus Magna, and that they needed to find a way home. Maku eventually suggested that the pair visit the Great Beings themselves, who would be able to help them. Maku then brought the two Matoran to Makuta Pterodax, who was to be their guide. Pterodax led the two Matoran to the Valley of the Maze, where they met a council of 6 Great Beings: Agonants, Hermias, and 4 others. Mazika explained that journey was from another dimension, and Pterodax, having read Voltraz's mind, announced Voltraz's corruption to the Great Beings, which astonished them. By the Great Beings' orders, Voltraz was to be taken away and dissected to see why he was so full of darkness, and Mazika was bid to return to the Matoran universe, exchanging Voltraz with a being from the alternate universe to preserve the balance between them. Mazika then chose Pterodax, and together they departed from the universe. 1 year ago, Gorast covers Pohatu and Photok in stone of Pohatu's creation, but they escape. Tahu orders Pohatu to find Gali, and he meets Takanuva. They encounter some Naya-esque, and Takanuva defeats them with his shadow powers. Pohatu then believes Takanuva is Makuta Pterodax in disguise until Gali proves otherwise. Kalma, Mantax, and Elik travel to Zaya to make a deal with the Shattered One. The Shattered One agrees to make a bargain on one condition. Pradak meets the Shattered One on Karzani to make the deal. Mutran creates a clack, but it tries to escape. Noticing this, he tries to spear it, but he misses and it screams at Vikan, its sonic cry shattering a wall that prevents light from coming back to Vikan. Vikan is no longer a Shadow Matoran. Mutran orders Vikan to go after the clack. The 3 go to the Codrax. The Makuta see Takanuva and then retreat. Tahu, having gathered all the keystones, asks the Toa to read the tablet at the Codrax. He puts the keystones into a niche in the center of the Codrax, and the shield goes down long enough for the Toanuva to get inside. The Toa are brought down to a lower level of the Codrax on a moving platform. 3 spheres open, revealing 3 vehicles. On Destral, a Shadow Takanuva awakens and decides to destroy the Matoran universe. Miserex begins to attack the advanced machinery underneath the Colosseum, only to be stopped by Brutaka, who explains that Modernui is the Matoran universe and the room underneath the Colosseum in his mind, but none of the other beings understand this. Icarax makes his way to the Codrax, and tells Krika that if the Toa awaken Modernui, the Great Spirit will destroy the Makuta. He says that if Krika were to turn intangible, he could perhaps pass the shield. Krika tries this, and half his body makes it. It becomes harder to get through, because the shield tries to keep Krika from entering. The other Makuta, who are following Pterodax's plan, try and stop Krika, but realize that it is too late. The Toa realize that the shield is going down. The shield comes down, and Krika is thrown into the swamp by the process. Icarax uses his power over gravity on the Codrax, crushing it. Inside the Codrax, the Toa make pillars of ice, stone, and earth in an attempt to support the Codrax from collapsing onto them. The Toa split up. Some will board the vehicles and leave the Kodrax to buy time for the other Toa. Lewa climbs aboard the Axelara T9, and Bohatu mounts on the Rocco T3. Before Kopaka can claim the Jetrax T6, Makuta Antraz, who snuck into the Kodrax behind the Toa, hijacks the vehicle. While escaping, Antraz momentarily collides with a massive light stone, charging the Jetrax T6 with energy and making the vehicle glow yellow. Lewa and Bohatu battle against Antraz and their vehicles. Radiac insists on helping Antraz, but he is rejected. Takanuva departs to help the Avmatoran evacuate Cardanui in preparation for the energy storms when Madanui awakens. Tahu tells Ignika that using the Mask of Life could quickly wake the Great Spirit, and he would need to give up his physical form and his newfound life in order to do this. Toa Ignika does not like this idea, and attacks Tahu. Gorast and Vampra attack Icarax. Icarax fires at Gavla, knocking her off Vampra. Vampra hurls a sonic blast at Icarax, but to no avail. Gorast saves Gavla and cuts open Icarax's armor, expecting antidermis to flow out. Nothing happens, and Icarax explains that when he fought Toa Ignika, his antidermis was transformed into real organs and muscles once again like they were hundreds of thousands of years ago. He then tries to cut open Gorast's armor so her antidermis will leak out. Antraz sends Biddle, Chirox, and Kirop after Takanuva. Bohatu creates pillars of stone in hopes of Antraz crashing into one. Lewa creates powerful winds to make Antraz crash as well. Antraz fires at Rocco, sending him into a pillar, but Bohatu makes the pillar turn to dust. Bohatu makes a hand of stone erupt from the swamp. Antraz escapes, but loses the power the Lightstone gave the Jetrax. Antraz uses his magnetic power to make the Rocco fall, but Bohatu steers it up in time. Axelara T9 and Rocco T3 close in on Jetrax T6, but Antraz teleports to the island where Mutran was working. To prevent the Rocco and Axelara from crashing into each other, Kopaka makes a wall of ice to make the vehicles stop and then climbs in. Toa Ignika pins Tahu to the wall of the Kodrax, outraged that Tahu wants him to be once again only a mask. Gali explains that if Toa Ignika wants to be a hero, he has to sacrifice himself in the same way Motoro did. Toa Ignika agrees to that. Antraz, now back in his original form, tells Mutran to get a shot of Matoran to restore his sight and to help Gorast and Vampra against Icarax. Gavla gets back on Vampra. Mutran dispatches a Shadow Matoran to help Antraz, and Gorast tells Mutran to send white noise to Icarax. While Mutran telepathically fills Icarax's head with noise, Gorast tells Vampra to have no surprise and questions about what Gorast says and does. Gorast yells out that Madanui is almost awakened. Icarax, not wanting this, tries to teleport away. Gorast zooms towards Icarax and turns on her Mask of Disruption, making the atoms scatter while Vampra releases a blast of power, sending them around the Matoran universe. Gorast explains that when one teleports, their atoms are scattered and will reappear whenever they want. Scattering their atoms meant the pieces of Icarax would reappear in various places around the universe, thus killing him. Miserex attempts to attack again, only to be stopped by Pterodax, who cloaks him with an illusion. Pterodax then places the Toahaga in a mental vision of happiness and dismisses them. Pterodax then teleports Axon, Brutaka, and Kitangu to the far southern islands. Pterodax tells Helrex he has kept her with him so he can have someone to talk to, and to be a friend to him. Vikan tells Takanuva about the Clack, and he captures Radiac, forcing the Clack to break his mental barrier as well. Radiac is no longer a Shadow Matoran. Radiac says that the Makuta want Madanui awakened, but for reasons unknown. Takanuva orders the Matoran to bring the other Matoran, cure them, and wait in a safe spot while he helps the other Toa. Tenma objects, but Takanuva says if they stay in Cardanui, an energy storm will kill everything in sight. Krika hears this, and flies off to warn the Makuta. The Matoran follow Takanuva's orders. Chirox and Biddle attack Takanuva. Takanuva defeats all of Biddle's clones, instantly, and knocks Kirop off Chirox, but Kopaka catches him. Takanuva defeats T-Rox, but one of Biddle's doubles tries to attack Takanuva, but the jet track scares it off. More of Biddle appear, and Takanuva tries to destroy each one. Seeing the real Biddle, Kopaka fires at him, making his doubles disappear. The only Makuta left standing is T-Rox, and Takanuva tries to destroy him. Takanuva regains control over himself, and tells Kopaka about the Makuta and how they want Madanui awakened. Onua leaves the Kodrax. Tahu tells Gali how it's his fault they were in the canisters for 1,000 years. Tahu realizes that they can fly out of Cardanui by hanging on to the vehicles. He then flies out of the Kodrax. Takanuva, one by one, turns the Shadow Matoran back into Avmatoran. Vampira helps T-Rox recover from his injuries and lets Gavla take a rest. Takanuva grabs her and takes her to the Clack. The Clack changes both Galva and Takanuva, returning them to light. Gavla wished she was once again a Shadow Matoran, because she had a use to someone, but she joins the other Matoran, and as one group they fly to Metronui. The Avmatoran on jetpacks and the former Shadow Matoran with their wings. Toa Ignika gets between the light stones, and he uses the power of life to awaken Madanui. He tells Gali to leave Cardanui. Gorast, Biddle, Mutran, with Antraz, T-Rox, and Vampira, attack the remaining Toanuva. Krika screams that the Toanuva and Makuta have to evacuate, as he had just learned about the storm. Before Tahu can help Krika, Gorast uses her mask to let his intangibility powers make him disperse. Kopaka tells the Toa that they have to leave immediately, because the storm has started. Onua helps Gali out of the Kodrax. Mutran attempts to study the storm, but a flash of lightning incinerates him. Gorast and Antraz ask Biddle to help them escape the energy storms, but Biddle abandons them and attempts to teleport out of Cardanui. Biddle is incinerated due to the fact that his energy storms are interfering with his teleporting powers. He is killed, followed by the other Makuta. The vehicles escape Cardanui. Madanui finally awakens. The Toa Mari return to Metronui to help fight in the siege of Metronui. Krakua awakens the Bolak, who start fighting their way through the rock sheet of the island of Madanui. The Toanuva return to Metronui and help in the fight. The body of Madanui fully awakens and destroy the Brotherhood of forces around Metronui, ending the Destiny War, seemingly in favor of the Toa and the Matoran. The Toanuva awaken the body of the Great Spirit, but with Pterodax's consciousness occupying it. Pterodax destroys the remaining Brotherhood of Makuta ships, attacking Metronui during the siege of Metronui. After the battle, Taragadum announces to all who gather at the Colosseum that Madanui had awakened, but at that moment, the stars form the shape of the Kanohi Krakan. The voice of Pterodax proclaims that when the Toa Mari revived Madanui, Pterodax's spirit slipped in before Madanui's could in the core processor. Thus, he explains, the Toanuva awoke him with Pterodax's mind. Pterodax banishes Madanui's spirit into the Kanohi Ignika and launches it into space. It orbits Barra Magna.